Hello guys, once again it's Matt, and today we have another video, another aircraft added in the last patch, Winds of a Change. And yeah, I was actually hoping to make a video on the A10 today, but because the loadout isn't yet added yet, the custom loadout isn't added yet, so I will try to just fly the F-104 a little bit and talk a little bit about it. Tomorrow we will see a video of the simulator battles using this aircraft as well, pretty cool. And yeah, once the custom loadout is added, I will do a video on the A10 and on the Sukhoi 22. So yeah, the last two aircraft that I want to make kind of a review about it, and after that, Israel, last tier of Israel. So yeah, let's get into it. Make sure to subscribe, and yeah, in general, the aircraft is an F-104. There's nothing too crazy about it if you think about an F-104, you know. It is an interceptor, very fast, doesn't turn well, but it is one of the F-104S's that we have, the S variant, that has the most powerful J79 engine of the game, and that makes one of the fast, if not the fastest aircraft in the game, at least in some areas, you know. And yeah, this will be the most the main difference from another F-104s, and the difference between the S and the S-ASA that we are actually reviewing today is of course the radar. It's just a more modern version, so of course the radar, the weaponry, there's a lot of things on it, but just kind of like internal things, you know. Still has the flare pod and chaff that the S doesn't have. It's still the same as the F-104G, but still a pretty good. It's a very good improvement. It's like a mix between a G and an S, and it's just a very good aircraft. Of course, it is top tier, so you have to be careful with that. Don't try to dogfight anybody. For the loadouts, that's another difference that we have from the normal S variant. We have two new missiles in the game. We have the Aspide missile, which is a improved variant of the Sparrow missile made by the Italians. The same missile as you saw on the J8 video. If you haven't checked it out, check that out. And yeah, I don't know what that guy was doing, but he died. So this is a gameplay with the Aspide. As you see, the radar is very limited in some areas, especially vertically scanning. It is very limited. You have to actually point the aircraft where you want it to be to actually detect anybody. So it is very limited, but still it is an improvement. It does have MTI, but you can only use in certain altitudes. I think it's less than 8,000 meters or something, but you're not gonna climb that much, you know. But in general, yeah, the Aspide is a very good missile, one of the best Sparrows in the game. Very long burn time. I think it's 6 seconds and 35 G, so it pulls a lot, burns for a long time. I still think the AIM-7F is better, but it is the second best Sparrow in my opinion, better than the E2 and better than the E, obviously. So yeah, this will be a crazy little thing. Just like the F-104S, you actually have to choose between the gun and the radar guided missiles. If you know me already, you probably know that I would probably just use the missiles instead of the cannons, especially in top tier. This platform of the F-104 is not the easiest thing to get crazy shots and dogfights with the cannon, so yeah, I would just basically use the missiles. I mean, the Aspide, for me, in my way that I play, I can get close to 60 to 70% hit rates, which is pretty good, and then it's just kind of confirming that you have a lot of kills in the end of the day. Even though you only have 2 missiles, it's kind of like 1 or 2 kills guaranteed, you know, guaranteed it. So yeah, this is one of the missiles, and the other one is the AIM-9L, which is another missile that was added in the patch. together with the A10. It is the most advanced version of the AIM-9. It is all aspect. It has like a 3 km range against an F4, 4 kilometers depending on this aspect of the F4, which, yeah, it's pretty good. It has some bugs right now, which makes it think that the aircraft that you're firing at it's on 800 kilometers per hour, but when it's not. So there are some bugs, you know, so the missile kind of leads too much and then tries to get back and just miss the target. But when these bugs are fixed, this will be one of the best, if not the best missile in the game, together with the MatAWGs and the R60Ms and the hopefully the Python 3s and stuff. So yeah, it is one of these type of aircraft and one of these type of missile. It burns for 5.5 seconds if I'm not mistaken, and pulls at least 30 Gs. So yeah, it's amazing, you know. But as you know, the most reliable weapon that you have is the Aspide, being the AIM-9 a secondary one. You have the loadout. You have the loadout for using 4 AIM-9s and the cannon, but I still prefer to use the Aspides. Once we get the custom loadout, we probably will see a loadout with 2 Aspides and 4 AIM-9Ls, which will be even better, or 6 AIM-9Ls, which would be, I mean, amazing as well, especially if they fix the AIM-9L. So yeah, it's a pretty good missile and pretty good aircraft. It's not the most do whatever thing, you know, do anything good. It's not a MiG-23 is what I mean. It's more like a dedicated interceptor. It doesn't dogfight much, so you have to be careful with that. Maintain the energy. The pros and cons, obviously one of the main pros that we have in this aircraft is the speed. It's such a fast aircraft, and sometimes you just don't need the flares. You just can outrun most of the AIM-9s and R60s that they fire at you. So the speed is the best thing ever. The missiles obviously also being a very good pro on this aircraft, but the cons are pretty bad as well. You have a very bad problem when turning. It's basically a brick, especially at high speeds. So you have to be careful with that. The cannon is, even though it's a Vulcan, it's a lot harder than you would thought to use, just because top tier normally things are a lot more fast paced, you know, and yeah, it's just the way that it works, you know. It's the way that top tier works, so you have to be careful and just use the cannon kinda like a spray and pray sometimes, because you're not gonna have too much time to actually think and aim correctly. So yeah, there's that. I mean, being an interceptor, being a fast aircraft, as I said, the tactics that I normally use is obviously again to climb and just get people that are flying really high, get good on BVR, and this will kill every single battle 2 people at the start of the match. So normally you can actually put 1 or 2 or even more with the AIM-9Ls, but if you use the Aspide you can put out a MiG-23 and F4, so a lot of aircraft like this. So this would be my tactic: climb as much as you can. This aircraft can actually climb at 35 degrees with Mach 1, so it gets to 8 to 9,000 meters very quickly. So you can actually get to, I mean, it's like close to 30,000 feet. You can actually be very effective climbing, so you can actually get the people from above after you killed the people flying high, which is, yeah, the main thing that you are going to try to use. For me personally, you know, it's a very unique aircraft. I like this type of aircraft. That it's very unique, and it's kind of a way to say that the MiG-25 can be added to the game. Obviously, maybe not now, but it is the same way that you would play a MiG-25, just climbing, being fast, and firing missiles. And to be honest, I mean, I've been dogfighting aircraft since forever in this game. So fighting in BVR with missiles not having a cannon, have to actually think about what you're doing when you are trying to fire the missile, about the way that you're firing the missile, and so on and so on. It's kind of a breeze of fresh air in the game, you know. And that's why I love BVR combat so much right now, even though it's not the most amazing thing ever in War Thunder yet, because we are using pretty old aircraft still. Once we get more and more advanced aircraft, this will be a very fun way to just play the game, you know. For me, it's way more fun than dogfighting, because, you know, dogfighting gets old, at least in my opinion. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed. Get flying, and I see you guys on the next one. See you guys tomorrow on the simulator battle videos, and bye guys, subscribe.